Hello, everyone. This is Raheel Sheikh from Virginia, USA. For those who are first time on my channel, I'm a business consultant based in Virginia, and I help international alien investors and entrepreneurs who want to set up their businesses in USA for US E2 or E1 visa program. Okay, so today I have an honorable guest with me, Mr. Andrew Shepin. He's an immigration attorney and a registered investment advisor. He has a lot of background with regards to the immigrations and immigration, the visa programs. So I would like to welcome you, Mr. Andrew.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Andrew, if you, before we formally start the discussions, today's agenda is more of E1 and E2 visas for, the treaty investors or treaty traders. So we would go for the detailed discussions, like what kind of visa programs are they, for who these program options are, what kind of business options are there, what kind of investments we are talking about, but we will go into that details later. So before we go into details, do you mind if you can give a formal of your introduction, your background? Because I got to know like you got a pretty decent experience and expertise in this area. Yes.
Yeah, so first and most of all, thank you very much for having me here. And I myself an immigrant. I'm right now in Chicago. I'm immigrated 29 years ago. Wow. On L1A visa. It's an investment visa from Switzerland, from Geneva, but originally I'm from Latvia. So in 1994, I bought some business in US, get my L1 visa, and after that get EB1C visa as international manager and get a green card. So I totally understand where you guys like coming from. How do you feel? In terms of my credential in the old world, I have PhD in economics. I was registered investment advisor with Security Exchange Commission. I'm not practicing attorney because right now in my staff, I have some attorneys who is doing the work and some business planners who is doing the work. I'm mostly talking to people about most difficult part is to find the business, to do the investment, because strangely enough, is if you take 100% how difficult it is to get a US business visa, 80% related to the money and to the business, and 20% related to the legal part, to prepare the application and everything else. But in reality, people pay a lot of attention and pay a lot for the immigration services, immigration lawyers, I'm sorry for that, 80% and 20% for the business advice. So this is a kind of pyramid that is misleading people because there's 12,000 immigration attorneys in US and they all try to scare you guys that the legal part is so difficult, it's so important. It is important. But it's only 25% important. 80% is the business, money in the business. That's what's talking. That's what you have most rejections of the business visas. It's called like denial, or you have a lot of questions about it. It's called request for additional evidences. So I will try to concentrate on a business part of a US business visas because this is a key part. And if somebody tells you that's the legal part, don't believe them. I know it's very well. I am owner of this investment immigration company for at least 15 years. And before that, I was doing it part-time, helping people. And I realized that it's my passion. In terms of how I made my money in United States, I made my money in real estate. I was a big investor in real estate. I still love real estate, and
absolutely so, all the money people in the US they love real estate.
Right now, I'm 64 years old. I semi-retired, but I decided not to retire because people die young when they retire. So, and plus, I enjoy helping people because when you help the people with, like, such a big task, it's really rewarding. So that's quickly about myself.
Thank you so much. That's very impressive. And the most impressive part is that it's been almost close to 3 decades. You are an immigrant, and you have passed through the whole of the process, which you and me are trying to teach or guide to the other people today. So you started from L1, then you jumped on EB1C, and then you moved to the green card. And this is the route which most of the international investors are more concerned that, even if they go for E1, E2, or L1, how would they eventually land towards the green card option, or will they be able to ever land in over there or no? So yeah, this is something which is very sensitive for the international investors. Great. Okay. So do you mind giving a quick overview? And okay, before the overview, one more important point which I would like to comment and second your opinion is about the business and the legal part breakups. I always tell to my clients as well that especially particularly when it comes to the non-immigrant visas like investment visas, so it's all about your business and your investments and how you structure your business model and you integrate your investments in a right platform in a right way without compromising or jeopardizing any of the legal obligation. Once you are done with it, the legal matters is just 20%. I totally second with you. So we need the people to understand that they need to focus more towards the business side, and then the immigrant. In fact, I always call it the immigrant non-immigrant visas is the byproduct of your business. If you prepare your business well, the visa is inevitable. You would get it eventually, as long as the business makes sense.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Again, that's one of the reasons I'm here, because we have the same philosophy and the same experience. And experience told us that immigration attorney tried to scare you that, how complicated it is. It is complicated, but it's totally doable if you, I agree, properly structure the business, choose the right business for you, and have the compelling story for the immigration about your business. And after that, legal part will just fall on top of that. Of course, it needs to be done properly. I'm not saying okay, forget about this one. All I'm saying that you need to focus on business and investment, and legal part, just make sure that it's done by professional people and not some people, because if we talk about immigration, there is 3 types of attorneys right here.
Right.
Desperate attorneys who will say yes for anything and hoping that they will look at the law and figure out how to do your case. This is usually very low cost, but very low results attorneys.
Right.
After that, there is attorneys who do all kinds of immigration, asylum seekers, refugees, marriages, unification of the families. Oh, you want business? No problem, we will do business. Right. So they will cost a little bit more, and you have more chances that the result will be good. But your focus should be on the professional who are doing business immigration visas to the US, because they have most experience, because they focus on that one. They cost a little bit more, but you will have the best chances for your visas. So remember that when you see attorney, ask them what kind of cases they're doing. And if they're doing bankruptcy and driving under the influence and divorces, and we can do immigration, no problem. You need to avoid them at any cost. Absolutely. And if it's the attorneys who is doing immigration of everything, you can go with them. But remember that the business visas are not their focus. They just immigration per se. And unfortunately, cases like asylum seekers or refugees is much more numerous than business visas. So they most likely don't have the best expertise in business visas. And if you ask them and they tell you, yes, if you ask we are focusing on the US business visas, that's your guys. So you can go with them if the price is right or not to go with them, but you need to focus your attention on this type of attorneys.
Absolutely, absolutely, perfectly nailed it, sir. Okay, so now moving towards the visa options. So because most of my audience, just to give you the fair feedback about what kind of an audience do we expect on this channel, is majorly the treaty countries from the Southeast Asian, like Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even we got a very good audience from India as well. Though India is not a treaty country, but still there are L1 visa options are there for those. So, so the Pakistanis or Bangladeshi or those people who are living, let's say, in Pakistan or even in Middle East, in UAE, Dubai, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, those kind of areas. So, what do you want to? How would you explain or summarize the options of E1 visa and E2 visa, and how do you compare both of those? Then we'll go for the next, what kind of business and investments we are talking about.
Okay, so first of all, if you are lucky and you're a citizen of Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or any other E2 visa treaty countries, you should consider E2 visa as a first option. It's the easiest visa in terms of business visas. It's have high rate of approval, and it's a stepping stone for you to get inside United States. So, and it can be extended unlimited time. So once you're inside US, you can have a lot of options and will be much easier for you compared if you try to do it straightforward from abroad. So let's say talk about our Pakistanis or Bangladeshi clients. They get inside United States on E2 visa, and what happened after 2 or 3 years, they have a lot of friends, among the business people. They maybe go to mosque and have some friends or colleagues right there. And so it will be much easier for them after that to apply for the green card. And 90% of all Pakistanis, Bangladeshi, Sri Lankans, and some other clients go with the route is spouse is the main applicant, and other spouse will have a work permit and have opportunity to be employed. So this is very important from the very beginning to structure it. So you maybe started the business with your wife, but after some times the business is set up and running, and you should have the right to apply for the work permit. And when you apply for the work permit, you always can find the opportunity to get a sponsor for your green card. And it's typically H-1B visa or visa EB3 or EB2 if you are have degrees. Why is it easiest way? Because one of your friendly business owner can post it a job that is fits exactly your profile, so to speak. And he will make sure that he will sponsor you as for the green card on H-1B visa or EB3 visa. So this is the typical way. While you're in the United States, you have friends who can help you to get a green card through being your sponsor. You, of course, can look at the open market and find some other company who offer you a job. So you will work for 2-3 years on this job and get a green card for the whole family. There is a little difference between when you go with a friendly business owner who is very friendly to you and posted the job, and general like unfamiliar companies that posted H-1B sponsorship. If it's unknown companies, they take you for the longest spin before they give you a green card. It's maybe 1 year, maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So you need to remember that your friendly company who offer you sponsorship will not delay filing for the green card. So you will be much faster in a way to the green card compared to the companies that you don't know. So that's need to be keep in mind. So don't be afraid to take L1 or E2 visa and get as soon as possible to United States, because while in United States, you have much better chances to get a green card than if you try to go from abroad, and that's
Great, great, great.
from our experience. That's a typical way how you will go. Again, there is other way to go for the green card, and it's what I did. It's a EB1C international manager. For the international manager, you need 2 companies at least, one inside the United States and one outside of United States. So, for example, if you get right here for E2 visa, and you decided that you have friends in Pakistan or any other country, maybe in Canada, maybe in Mexico, it does not matter. It should be outside of United States. And you can work as a 1 year as a manager there and have the share. So in this case, you have opportunity to structure it, to transfer you, quote unquote, from the foreign country to US. And that's a really good option. So it's typically only one option for the Indian, because you don't have, you are not lucky as a Pakistani or Bangladeshi have been a treaty country. Unfortunately, United States is such a very difficult to comprehend the logic. All the big countries like China, India, Russia, Brazil are not part of the treaty countries. It's really difficult to comprehend, but don't ask me about that because we don't want to waste our time.
Right. No, that's a great explanation. So when it comes to EB1C, and okay, naturally you need to have a company here in the USA for 1 year, and you need to be associated with a company outside the US with 1 year. But is there any other standard criteria in terms of the performance of the company, or the annual revenues or profits, or number of employees, or the volume of the company structure that has to have a bare minimum of a company's profile in order to qualify for EB1C?
Thank you very much. Really good question. So the people asking it's a lot. And immigration, because of the different countries with a different cost of labor and everything. For example, middle-sized company in Ethiopia, probably the volume of trade or services is so much smaller than company, let's say in Norway, where the average salary is more than 100,000. So in order to judge the company, in the different countries, immigration ended up judging them by number of employees, not how much sales they do, not what kind of goods they produce, but how many numbers of employees on their roster. So this is the only key criteria for EB1C. And this is the number one mistake people making, because typically people go in with a combo. First, they go with L1A visa, and after that, after 1 year or something, they will try to apply for EB1C. And there is one trap that a lot of Indian business owners get into that. It's to get approved for L1A, you need 1 or 2 employees inside the United States.
Yeah.
And so a certain number of employees in India or any other foreign countries that you have business on. Some Indians have business in United Arab Emirates, trading companies, some have account in Singapore. The problem is when you got on L1A with 1 or 2 employees and apply for EB1C, you most likely will be rejected 100%. Why? Because requirements for EB1C, you need more employees inside the United States. So
Right.
if you, to avoid this mistake from the very beginning, try to buy the business inside the United States that is in the industry that is labor intensive, meaning that have a lot of employees. What is labor intensive industries? Like cleaning industry, like beauty salons industries, like fast food industry. So there is an industry where there is a lot of employees and you can acquire business for the reasonable price, like 100,000, 200,000 and stuff like that. You have 15, 20 employees, you are golden. You are golden for EB1C. So that's need to remember for when you go a route of EB1C international manager. And again, people asking, oh, I want to apply for L1A. And how many employees you have in India? Oh, I have 5 employees. Unfortunately, it's not going to fly. You need
Right.
10, 20, even more employees in India or anywhere outside of United States to apply successfully for L1A and EB1C.
Right.
But there is a one caveat. If you have 3 or 4 companies and each of them have 2, 3, 4, 5 employees, let's say you have one company in India with 5 employees, one company in United Arab Emirates with 5 employees, and one company in Indonesia with 5 employees or 3 employees. In this case, you can apply for EB1C because criteria for EB1C is your qualification as international manager. So even if you don't have huge one company, you have a lot of companies in the different countries, and that allow you to qualify for a skillful international manager or like manager with outstanding abilities for EB1C. So that's need to remember in
Right.
mind.
No, that's good. That's a very detailed explanation with regards to the EB1C. Now, on the EB1C, one more common concern which I usually face. Okay, so usually it is been promoted that EB1, the L1, because it's a dual intent visa, so they have a route from L1 to EB1C, then towards the green card. But what usually is not commonly promoted or commonly available on the internet at least, and I would try to tell this to my clients as well, that EB1C is not conditional only for L1 visa holders. It can be linked to the E2 visa holders as well, as long as if they have the international experience or international business, it is still valid. So do you think the route from E2 and then going towards the EB1C and then going to the green card is a viable route?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have cases when business owners, in Pakistan, and he told me, I cannot get money out right now.
Right.
So what they can do, they can go with E2 visa because E2 visa allow gift or the loan against your property as your legitimate money for E2 visa. For example, person have property in Pakistan and he has a friend who is willing to give him a loan against his property in Pakistan, but this friend is in US. So this money is a loan against his property, and he is legally can use this money to qualify for E2 visa. But he maybe have a business there, and so on, the people asking. So what you need to do, you need to qualify for E2 visa, get approved. And after that, restructure the business and make it as a subsidiary of your foreign business and do subsidiary. And after that, you restructure it as a subsidiary in the bylaw of the company or operating agreement for LLC, you can easily apply for EB1C, because EB1C is not condition, absolutely correct, on L1A visa. It's simply its usual way. That's how people usually go. And why they go? Because approval for EB1C is much longer, and approval for L1A is much faster. So if you just acquired the business in US, you don't want to somebody somehow like your business in US without your supervision for a year and a half. So you try to get into the country as soon as possible to manage your business. And that's why people go with L1A. But it's not necessary. If your cousin will manage his business, you don't need L1A. And if you have like stomach, that maybe business will start losing a little bit of profit while you are not here, it's totally fine. You will wait for your EB1C straightforward. You don't need L1A. So L1A is typical or customary, but not necessary.
Not necessary.
Absolutely right.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Okay. So now when it comes to E1 or let's say E2, more likely. So the most common questions, the two questions which I receive, which I'm sure which you also would be receiving the same thing. One is which business to do. And the second is how much is the minimum amount of investment required. So how do you link those two questions, or you want to address the both of the concerns?
What business to do? You need to start with very simple things. Try to go to the service type business. Why? Because everything else to selling goods can be easily put over the internet, and the huge company like Amazon and everything kill your business. So this is one of the most difficult part for the Pakistanis, because, or Indian or Bangladeshi, because they so get used that there is a small shops around and people selling goods. That's not situation in the United States. We have huge malls with huge grocery stores and huge warehouse type businesses that we will not go anymore to the small shops. Nobody's going anymore. Even if like big shops, people not going anymore. So make sure that you will try to find the service type business, because it will not go on the internet. It will not gobble up by the huge company. You will be safe and for the long term. Second one, try to find the business related to the houses. Why I'm saying that? Because houses will not go on the internet. Houses cannot be outsourced to China or to Mexico. The house is right here to stay. So any business related to the housing, you want to fix the roof, you want to cut the grass in front of the house, you want to fix appliances right there, you want to walk their dog because they have a dogs, and to, like, by the way, dog walkers making a good money in US, so it will be very strange.
Absolutely.
So my advice from the general, if anything related to the house and you are doing decent jobs, you will be fine. So that's general service industry related to the housing, and you will not be threatened by the huge companies, by the internet, by the cheap labor in Vietnam right now, not in China, but in Vietnam and Indonesia. So you will be fine. The minute you will go to the selling goods, you on the mercy of the internet, of the huge company, because we have huge companies with huge resource department that is looking what type of goods are making profits. And they will cut you like almost immediately. If you're making good profits, more than for 6 months, for 1 year, all of a sudden they will go to your source of your goods and offer them deals that you cannot offer them. So that's one thing I want to tell you. Out of all industries, there is several industries where is the foreigners and locals making good money. And I would say real estate. Real estate is one of the industries that is making more millionaires in the United States than any other industry. Housing. Remember that 42% of all the properties are rental properties. So it's a huge market right there. So 40% of all the properties is rental. So if you help the investors to manage the properties, that's one of the business that the back door to your wealth, because you don't need to invest big money. You need to kind of, just to offer services to the owners of the properties, and they will be happily pay you monthly fee.
Right.
Another things you need to remember, there is a businesses where you need to make sales every day, and there is a businesses when you make sales at the very beginning. And it's called subscription business. What is the subscription business? Remember 10 years ago when you want to buy the piece of software, you happily buy a little box, open up, install your software, you are done. Now, if you want to buy software, you will hear it will be $3 a month, it will be $20 a month, it will be $500 a month. It's called subscription. Why is that? Because they will work very hard to get you as a client one time. And after that, you deliver to them steady income every month.
Right.
And if you turn the table around and look from the business owner perspective, you work like a dog 6 months, 1 year, year and a half, you get a client, and all of a sudden, after that, you see that every month you have steady, predictable income. You don't need to worry if the next month will be slow month or like, high months or something like that. You can get sick or you can travel. They still pay you. It's like a gym. You sign up at the beginning of the year thinking, I need to do something for my body. Great. But you will not go there. But you still pay.
You still pay, right?
You still pay. So the gym owner know you come in and you're not, but he will still have you like, whatever, like you're paying monthly, and still knows that next month he will make like 20, 30, 40,000 and plus
without doing anything.
Doing like, something.
Yeah, service,
so, remember, subscription business is the future. The smartest industry is in the computer, guys, and they all switch to the subscription model. Even freaking Microsoft. Right now, Microsoft 365. Try to find the old Microsoft. They say, no, we kind of not selling it anymore.
Not selling.
How about you subscribe for the monthly fee with our wonderful, super updated, super cool, like Microsoft Office. Wow. Even Microsoft, it's all guys. So subscription business. Remember, anytime the client is ready to pay you monthly fee, this is where your future will be, because you will, again, work very hard at the beginning. But after that, it's a steady, predictable stream of income that you will enjoy, especially if you're older guy and close to retirement. You will set up mechanism. Other things, a lot of business owners want to put their wife in charge. That's a perfect business. You work for a year and a half, set up the clientele, give it to your wife, get into H-1B visa to get a job and green card, get your green card, so voila, you're fine, So
Great.
Subscription business, guys. Pay attention to anything that related to subscription business. So again, general picture, service industry and related to the housing, if you can. From the organizational subscription business, from the industry point of view, try to go into real estate. If you have already success as a business owner abroad, you will be successful with property management in real estate, and after that being investor. Again, there is three other things how you can do your investment. Set up your own business, buy existing business, and buy a franchise.
Right.
You do set up your own business only if you have some relatives who already helping you, or you're very sure that what you're doing. Because, for example, you was being a trader in Pakistan, you do international trade, and instead of Pakistani, your US company will be doing trade now. Okay,
Right.
you can do startup. It's called startup. Start your own business.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just decided to start the business and you are not sure what you are doing, don't do it. Because according to US statistics, after 5 years, people who start independently business, only 30% will survive. So
Right.
70% will be out of business. And people who bought franchise, 92% survive after 5 years. So if you have the choice between starting the business and buying a franchise, don't hesitate to pay for the franchise because they will help you to survive in the long run. You don't want to be the person who successfully get approved for the visa, only 3 years later, lost your business, lost your money, and need to go back to your country to the shame of your family and to the complaint of your kids who already get used to the school and lifestyle, and to your wife who is already have the friends and set up your new life right here, and the house, you need to sell everything and go back. So if you will want to start your business and don't sure what you're doing, go with a franchise. They will do your training, they will give you success what you need to be done, like instruction. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will be successful like everybody else. And they have lifetime support. What does it mean? So, the business are changing, economy is changing, but franchise, what they do is they accumulated experience, positive experience from all their branches, see what is working and tell you, this is what guys working right now. If you do this 1, 2, 3, you will be successful in this business situation or economy situation. So they will help you to survive in the long term. So even if somebody tell you franchise is expensive, think about statistics. After 5 years, only 30% people who start independently survive, 70 out of the business. And in terms of immigrants, they need to go back to your country. It's not
Right.
that what you want. So guys, remember that. Buying the business is very easy from the kind of, oh, I will buy the business hood and have the income from the day one. First of all, it's very difficult to buy profit business in your area, on your price range, profitability, and the seller who wants to sell to E2 visa applicant. Because the seller and their business brokers don't want to sell to you. Why?
Right.
Because you usually need a conditional purchase agreement. What is a conditional? Conditional on, let's say, your E2 visa approval. But owner hates that. They hate that because he already negotiated with you. He already showed you the business. He already, business broker who work for the seller is happy, like, I will get commission. And all of a sudden, I am E2 visa, I need to go right there. So it's conditional for my approval. They say, heck no. I will much better sell it to regular American for a little bit lower price, but get my money now, and that's it. It's the same with the business broker who represents the seller. He said, I hate it because if the deal shall not go through, there is no my commission, and I work like a dog to make it happen. So
Right.
what in practical things happen? You will call the business for sale and say, blah, 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 I am E2 visa. And the broker who represents the seller on the other side of the call thinking, no freaking way, I don't want to do that because it's conditional and I maybe not receive my commission even if I work very hard. So he said, I will not respond to this guy. So you will
Right.
never get called back from the seller, most likely, guys. So
Right.
keep in mind that it looks simple. I actually have a case of Canadian. They moved to Florida last year, about last April, settled
Hmm.
down in Boca Raton and tried to buy the business. And they bid for this business, fail. They bid for that business, they fail. They bid for business, nobody responds a call. After 3 months, Andrew say, we give up, we're going back to Canada. I say, no, 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 stay, guys. You already pay like 50% of my fee. I
Right.
want to help you. Either they not follow my advice.
Right.
They not
Right.
follow my advice. I say, never ever settle down and after that look for the business. First, find the business, find the deal, find the seller who wants to work with you, sign agreement, and after that move in, not vice versa. So that's extreme case that I have, of this lovely Canadian. They're Canadian, not like Indian Canadian or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
So there is no things that people say, oh, because I have skin color, people don't like it. No,
Yeah.
that's a bullshit. They are white Canadian, come right there, settle down in Boca Raton and try to buy the business. After 3 or 4 months, they say, Andrew, we give up. Nobody wants to talk to us.
Right.
And I say, you did not listen to me the first time, but it's okay,
This is
guys.
very common, this has happened. I have experienced it honestly quite a lot of times. People come and they spend, like I've seen literally, at least he was good, the Canadian, he understood, and in 3 months he tried to wind up and move back. I have the people who literally spend six months, the whole of the visa B1, B2 tenure, because that's the maximum they were supposed to live here. So they'll spend the 6 months time trying to find a business which is like they can put the escrow and it's a conditional, and they are not able to, and they don't have a social, they don't have a credit, they cannot take over the lease, they cannot get the licensing transferred to them, and even finding a seller who is ready to accept the conditions of escrow. Because from the buyer's perspective, it's very safe for me as a buyer that, okay, if I put a money in escrow and if I don't get my E2 approved, I get my money back. But if I am a seller, it's a most undesirable or unfavorable scenario or situation for me. Why would I wait for your E2 and I don't sell my business? I wait for my money for 6 months. I keep running and operating the business for 6 months. And after 6 months, also, there is no guarantee that if your E2 is declined, you get your money back. What do I get? As a seller of the business. So I am very skeptical and reluctant in selling or dealing with the E2 buyers. Yes, you are right.
I totally agree with you. I have at least right now, at this moment, at least 5 clients from Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh who are already, some bought the tickets, come playing
Yes.
to come to US to find the business. I say, it's a huge waste of time. All you you can look at the location if you like the state, let's say Florida and everything. But if you think you find the business, no, you will
No,
not.
that's not possible.
No, you will not find any business. It's not like in your country, you come and you see the business for sale and you go, everything is online, first of
Right.
all. And second one, nobody will return your call.
Nobody.
No.
There only the business brokers communicate, and they only communicate with the locals here. So there is a reason why there is a layers in between.
Yes. So, and you say, if you want to look at the location, how you like the Florida state or Texas or New York, yes, that's a good tip. But if you think that you will find the business, you are hugely mistaken. It will be waste of your time. I'm so sorry to tell you that. But most of them don't believe me. They think
they don't believe. Yeah, they want to try an experiment, spend 6 months here, pay the hotels, pay the cost of 6 months, spend a huge money, huge time, resources, and then they say, "Oh, we didn't find anything." It's very commonly happen with us. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
We have the same experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so now we identify the business, and the way you explain and broken down the business industries and categories. I mean, that's remarkable. That's incredible. That's exactly the right approach of selecting a well qualifying business in today's market. So now, if we want to put or attach the money or the in terms of the dollars value to these businesses, so what do you think? Because since in E2, there is no official threshold of the money. It only has to be substantial amount. So what do you think, as per your experience, is a reasonable amount of investment to make in any of these business for to qualify for E2?
Regarding investment amount, there is a one huge misconception that people don't understand. There is a two parts of your investment.
Yeah.
One part that you actually need to spend,
Right.
physically to spend, because immigration wants to see is that you put some money at risk.
Right.
And this amount is between 40 to 60,000 from our experience. If you go below 20, the immigration can say not enough risk.
Right.
So this is the real money that you need.
Right.
Risking, even if it's franchise, it's 60,000 franchise fee or 40,000 franchise fee, and so on. On top of this money, there should be cash on your bank account.
Right.
And this is the cash you are not risking. You are not investing. It's just pure for the show. And you need to distinguish that one part you're risking and one part is pure for the show. And this part for the show, make it as big as possible. Why?
Right.
Because you're not risking it. There is no restriction for you. There is nothing like the government will say pay taxes or something, nothing like that. It just need to show for immigration that you have a lot of money. And make sure that you will get this part as big as possible, because it's for the show. Imagine as if you decided to make a proposal for your woman. So
Right.
you maybe don't have the good suit, so you go rental suit. You
Right.
maybe not have the diamond ring. Like,
Right.
okay, you will put the diamond ring to ask for your parents for your for their daughter for marriage. So you look shiny.
Right.
That's it. After they accepted you as a future husband and everything, you return this suit to the rental agency.
That's
You
a good
return
example.
your diamond ring to your friend who landed up.
Right.
Think about the money to invest as this situation. You only need to spend certain amount between $40,000 to $60,000. The rest is for the show.
Right.
After you get approved, where does this money go? Maybe it will go to back,
Right.
to the person who gave it to you. So there is two sources how you can increase the show part of the business. You can get a gift from the relatives.
Right.
It's a gift, or maybe you will return it back after approval. It's a loan against your property. Somebody, private person, can loan you money. So you put it on your bank account and you show very substantial investment.
Right.
But so when the people saying, I only have 60,000 to invest, they may be saying, I don't want to show all my money. I just want to make as little as possible. That's a big mistake.
Right.
You only spend 60,000. The rest you need to show. It will not grabbed by US government or US immigration. They will not put any restriction on that. They will not put taxes on that one. You need to show as much as possible. So remember this question, how much do I need to invest? You need to have 40 to 60,000, and you need to put them as a real investment. The rest, grab the money from anywhere, put it on your bank account, show it to immigration that you have it. We will get you approved, and after that, like with a wedding, you return the suit back to the rental suit agency, you return back your shiny diamond ring to your friend who lended it to you. You are done. You're approved. So that's extremely important. So when the question is not how much I invest, how much I will spend, and the rest is important. So that's people biggest mistake. People try to show as little as possible because they think they want to get approved with as little money as possible. No, you will spend an additional thing if you don't want to risk it. If you put this money, 60,000 that you really need to spend with a franchise, reputable franchise, and you will not get approved, franchise will return your money, 60,000. So in case of franchise, reputable franchise, you will not risk any of your investment money. You will put the money with the franchise on escrow. Franchise will issue the letter that we approved you as a franchisee and you invested in a franchise. But in reality, they will be waiting for your approval. If you're not approved, they will return your money, because that's only one situation when you need to remember that if you don't want to risk any money of your, go with a franchise, reputable franchise. There is a 14,000 franchises in the United States, but the best one is, I would say, 500, and it's in an Entrepreneur magazine, published 500 best franchises. And usually they're not corrupted, because if you get at the list of any other best franchises, the best franchises usually the franchise that pays the most for these people who compose this list. So don't trust this list. Just this is the most important. Okay, so that's about the money, people.
Absolutely. No, that's a very detailed breakup, and thanks for that explanation. Because I mean, we break up the whole investment in terms of the capital expenses, which is the money at risk, actual spendings, and the operational expenses, which is operational capital, which is for your future operations, just as you rightly name it, as a show money. So it's a show money. You are showing as if you are, you have a shining business and good prospects in the US. So we need to keep that, the whole area into our consideration when it comes to the E2. Okay, so now I think, we covered almost all the major areas. Just probably the last things. How are the scope of the families and the kids, and the kids' education and medical benefits, healthcare systems, the social benefits? What do you think about those?
One of the number one and two reason of immigration of the business people is education and future for their kids.
Yes.
It's like absolutely, sometimes it's number two, but most of the time it's number one, number two. That's you cover 80% of the people. And what happened is education. US education system is absolutely fantastic, guys. Absolutely wonderful. Don't believe anybody who say there is a shitty schools in the United States. But you need to remember there is a area where the schools is absolutely fantastic. For example, me, I moved from Chicago downtown to the suburbs because this is a high school number 9 public school in the United States, number 9. What does it mean, number 9? They have 3 symphony orchestra. Why? Because there are so many Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Chinese, Korean who are buying a house into this area to go into the school. And all the parents of Korean and Indian and Pakistani say, you need to play instrument. So they have 3 symphony orchestra. They have a buffet that is making fresh salads from scratch. Nothing like, your crappy stuff, the good food.
Right.
They have 100 clubs for people for interest. But the most important, one of my son who went through the school was very good at mathematics. In each subject, they have 4 levels of mathematics.
Okay.
4 levels. So your son can just, if you push them, can go to the different level. And a lot of these classes are college certified. What it means? It means my son, oldest son, who is right now in Illinois State University, he is get credit from this school. So he can finish the college not in 4 years, but in 3 years, because he went to the very good school, where is a lot of classes credited towards the college. In addition to that, my son is a resident of state of Illinois, and he went to Illinois State University, so he have reduced tuition. But guess what? You on E2 visa will also be resident of the same state, if you like, state of Florida or New York or Illinois, and you will have reduced tuition at the state college. Huge benefit. Huge benefit for the college. And so this is like absolutely wonderful system of education and the benefits. In terms of the healthcare, healthcare is really good in United States, but expensive, people. It's expensive. Unfortunately, we have expensive healthcare, so you need to remember that and make a good money to cover medical expenses.
Because we are not a social welfare state like in the UK.
But remember, I am in a suburb. And I give you a little kind of my personal history. I have inherited from my father some stomach situation. So from time to time, I can fall to the floor and I need ambulance.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's my personal. I don't want to tell you what exactly it is. In the United States, the ambulance will arrive no more than 4 minutes. Either ambulance or the fire department. They also have paramedics on staff. Why is that? Because they don't know what's your reason for emergency medical call. But your brain only can be without oxygen up to 4 minutes. After that, it's become some changes in the brain that irreversible. So ambulance need to arrive in 4 minutes, and if your heart stops, they will revive you, and you will leave. In fact, one of immigrant who immigrated here, and for some reason was very anti-American. He was like, oh, this American, that. And one day his heart stopped. So paramedic arrived with somebody called ambulance and said, my dad's heart stopped. Paramedic arrived in 2.5 minutes with a bottle of adrenaline with a long needle. He stuck his needle to his heart, pushed it right there, and restart his heart immediately. So guess what? This person is right now the biggest fan of America and American medical system, and he loves it and say, if you need to pay the guys, because I still alive, because American medical system.
Medical systems. Absolutely. No one does. We certainly do have the world's best health and education systems. Yes, sometimes it goes expensive, especially the medical ones. And that's the reason you are opening a business here. So you earn a lot and you pay a sufficient amount of your insurance to cover your medical expenses. Right. Okay.
So I'm so sorry. I'm really grateful to have me here, but it's already 9:07 and I'm 7 minutes late to the
I got you. I totally get you.
I totally apologize, guys.
No problem.
Thank you very much for your attention, guys. Thank you for having me here. But unfortunately, I need to kind of leave you, not because I'm just will try to be nasty to you, but because I have obligation to the person who scheduled
Absolutely.
my call.
Absolutely. No, we totally understand and we appreciate it. Thank you so much for your valuable time. It was indeed a great session, and we'll continue, having a talk once we come to the next sessions. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for joining. Thank you.